February 12th, 2024. I'm starting this week off over here at Killybrooke Elementary. I'm subbing 6th grade today, and I can't help it, today's a mathematical day. 2, 12, 24. 2 times 12 equals 24. And inside this classroom, in fact, I subbed for this teacher before last year, about a year ago, over at Whittier Elementary, so I recognized the name. And just like at Whittier Elementary, the sub plans were right here on the board. As I was approaching the office, a couple of students called out to me saying, "Who am I subbing for?" And I said I was subbing for this teacher, and they started to celebrate. So can't wait for today. And I admire how organized this is, including a math lesson that I'm apparently going to be teaching today. So very excited about that. Okay, and so I will honestly say that I survived today. This class was very interesting. A lot of nice and respectful students. There are times when the principal just had to stay in here for quite a while, and when she was here, everyone was silent and on task. So I got to teach another math lesson. By coincidence, it was a few lessons before the lesson that I taught at Newport L last Friday. So same thing like Unit 6, I believe. I started the math before lunch and I had to finish it after lunch, and then after that was social studies about Athens and Sparta, and then there were workbook pages after that. So I was just making several revolutions around the classroom, clarifying questions and helping students to get on the right track on how to answer the questions, like comparing and contrasting primary sources and all that. This morning, on the other hand, was horrendous because I mean, in the notes it was all ELA, English Language Arts, and it was picture day. So not only did each student have to take individual pictures, but then there's like a big panoramic photo, and so that took their recess away. So they had a makeup recess after that, and then we came back and started the math lesson. I just had to implement a lot of SEL strategies, some discipline today, but sometimes you just get those classes, and of course I'm willing to be here, and I always have to boost myself in optimism. Like I belong here today. I was called to be the substitute teacher for this day and to help the students the best I can. Well, a very interesting day today, to be honest, and I can't wait for next time. And this is the first time here at Killybrooke since the publication of my second book, Unstoppable, which I counted mentions Killybrooke 4 times in it, including the time when I subbed for the 6th grade class, and the teacher now teaches 5th grade, and I just saw her and showed her the part where I mentioned her class in it. It's February 13th, 2024. I'm back over here at Eastbluff Elementary, second time this academic year. I'm very excited to be subbing today. I'm subbing 4th grade. Well, today came and went, and I'll be honest, it was almost the same exact disposition as yesterday. And so I nearly lost my voice, but they were very kind and hard, I would say. But we muscled through the tasks, like a couple of mathematics worksheets, a little quiz on Island of the Blue Dolphins, and then after music, which was after recess, we watched a couple of Hill Hauser's California missions videos. And it's kind of like the time I was here the first time in January 2023, when I was subbing the other 4th grade class, and it's like we're doing the same thing. Hill Hauser, California Missions, and Island of the Blue Dolphins. Island of the Blue Dolphins is a novel that we read when I was in 4th grade too. And in 4th grade we went to San Juan Capistrano, which I'll never forget. It's like the same curriculum. I ran into a 5th grade teacher at lunch whom I'm going to be subbing for next month, and I showed her a part in my new book Unstoppable where I mentioned Eastbluff Elementary, and in fact I referred to her in her class. And so her and one of the assistant principals that I ran into was saying that they heard that I'm coming on February 26th. So on February 26th, I'm coming for a couple of assemblies. And my assemblies are about autism awareness, disability awareness, inclusion, how to be friends to those who may appear different, and to have like an understanding of what's in our mind and what's in our heart. What's interesting is that yesterday at Killybrooke, 2 students spoke Russian, and today there's like at least 4 or 5 students here that spoke Russian. I asked one of the students yesterday at Killybrooke if he could teach me, like, how do you say thank you in Russian? If I pronounce this correctly, it's spasiba. And today one of the students here was trying to teach me a couple of other words, and I just need to practice if I'm going to be fluent. And my former 5th grade teacher was here like all day today, so kind of a bit surprised to see each other again. I ran into him a few times this academic year alone. We just happened to be at the same school at the same time. And he works up in the district now, so I guess he's going to different school sites. Well, a lot more to say about this day, but I'm sure that this suffices. And tonight I have Rangers for a couple of hours. Well, nevertheless, I'm very happy that I was here today. It's always good to be here at Eastbluff. And several of the older students at lunchtime were very happy to see me again because I subbed for them last year. Well, can't wait for next time. Valentine's Day 2024, I'm over here at Newport Heights Elementary, subbing 4th grade today. This day is going beautifully so far, I surmise. We just survived a big Valentine's Day party. We had a few parents that came in and just helped with like the crafts, the games, the candy and everything. Oh, and I have to say, a couple of students gave me a gift too. This morning started out with Shark Tank, and that's where they do all their computer stuff and everything. And they were doing talking about missions and just getting a project put together about the California missions, just like what I was doing yesterday at Eastbluff. And in fact, to my left are the mission writing reports behind me. And then we came back and got to teach another math lesson all about area and perimeter, so that was exciting. And then recess, and then the Valentine's Day party. Kind of reminds me when I was a student here. I mean, I know I was a student on this day 19 years ago in 2005. I was in 4th grade. And all the Valentine's Day celebrations I remember from like Paularino Elementary, and then when I was mainstreamed here at Newport Heights Elementary. And just, I just remember it clearly. And us classmates passing out candy to each other. And in fact, 20 years ago this month, I was in 3rd grade, and our teacher had a lesson, and we made Valentine's Day cards, and we had a chocolate, and then we put like chocolate on our fingers and around our mouth and took a picture, and this was mine. And I just went over to him and showed him, because he teaches 1st grade now, and he had me show it to another teacher who was teaching the same lesson. I guess he taught this teacher how to do the same lesson. So just fun memories, precisely 1 score ago. In fact, I was just thinking about part of that lesson, and I was telling that teacher that 20 years ago he was taking a bite of the chocolate, and he told us we can't take a bite out of the chocolate yet, and he was making it sound so delicious, and all the students were telling him to stop. And so today's Wednesday is early out, and so after lunch we're in here for just a little bit, and then we're going home for the day. So I'm sure that the rest of the day will go well. I'm very glad that I was here today. All of the students couldn't get over the magic tricks and were asking me all day to show it to them. Again, it's not real magic. And out at lunch just now, there were a few students, some from this class and some from other classes, and just wanting to see tricks. Some of them I subbed for last year when they were in 3rd grade. So once again, so glad that I'm back here at my elementary school alma mater, and I can't wait for next time. It is February 15th, 2024, and I'm inside a 4th grade classroom here at California Elementary School, and I am having perhaps one of the best days in subbing in a heck of a long time. These students are so respectful, polite, and well behaved. Not saying anything bad about other students, classes, or schools, but this class as a unit, as a whole, is just like altogether very hardworking, on task, and raising their hand. This teacher whom I'm subbing for and the other 4th grade teacher are just complimenting how great the 4th graders are this year. This morning had math, and I really enjoyed helping out the students in math, and the other students were understanding, and I was teaching them some math shortcuts. Then they were writing. They're really enjoying the magic tricks, and I'm just taught them how to do a trick, and then maybe later on I'll teach them how to do another trick. And then I have a brand new trick with the Rubik's Cube that I never showed any student in my life because I just got it. So hopefully that would turn out well. Right now they're in PE, and then they're going to come back and work on missions. So yes, if you've been following me, I had 3 days in a row subbing 4th grade at 3 different schools, and all 3 days were doing missions. Again, it's part of the 4th grade curriculum. And then after that is lunch, and then they have science after that, and then they're going to be dismissed from science, so I'm sure that the rest of the day will go well. Earlier the principal came in and talked to them about snow day tomorrow, and apparently there's going to be real snow here because next week is President's Week off, or what some people call ski week. And also, one student gave me this, and another student gave me that, an incredible drawing of Earth. I've asked the students if they heard about any upcoming assemblies, like on the 27th, and they all said yes. So I'm like, well, guess who's speaking? You? Yes, I'm going to be speaking, going to be speaking about autism and disability inclusion. And if you watched this part of the video when I was at Eastbluff, I said I was going to go over there on the 26th. So 2 days in a row I have an assembly here in Newport-Mesa Unified. So again, I'm sure that the rest of the day would go splendidly, and I can't wait for next time. And now I'm over here at Vanguard University, where I went to for my undergrad for the credential program and now the master's program. And I've been asked to speak for about 7 to 10 minutes at the info session of their new education specialist credential program that's starting in the fall 2024, which is going to help students earn their mild, moderate credential, which is basically for special education. And they want me to come and tell my story about autism and my story through the credential program and all that. So I'm very appreciative that they asked me. They said that I could share my new book, Unstoppable, which talks all about me going through the credential program and surviving student teaching and everything. So very thankful to be here. Brings back a lot of memories of being a student here in the credential program. even though I technically am a student, albeit the virtual master's program, so online. But anyway, good to be back in person. And then at 6 p.m. a couple of commanders are picking me up here, and we're going over to the commanders meeting at Mesa Church in Irvine. That is tonight. It's held once a month over there. And speaking about wherein, just last Tuesday, I started teaching the astronomy merit for like the 4th time since 2015. In fact, the first time that I taught the astronomy merit, I was right here at this church when wherein just used to be held over there behind me, and I taught it twice here at this church, once virtually, once for the YouTube video for the astronomy merit, and now for like the 4th time live. And it was just so refreshing to teach it. I have an in-depth post about it that I posted all over like X, Facebook, and YouTube and such. The 3 Discovery Ranger boys really enjoyed my lesson, talking about the intro of astronomy and a couple of key terms of astronomy, so it was just magnificent. It's February 16th, 2024. I'm over here at Whittier, concluding this week subbing 6th grade today. So here I am in the classroom. Today I'm subbing for a 6th grade teacher whom I subbed for last year, and the first time I subbed here this year, which was a couple weeks ago, I ran into him and said hi. Looks like today's going to have language arts, math, science, and social studies. Although the science is a pull-out, but I'm teaching the other 3. Okay, so today came and went, and I've been debating whether I should say this in the video. And I understand that like next week is President's Week, so this is the last teaching update for a couple of weeks, and on top of that, this is the last segment in this video, so I'll try my best to end in a more positive, cheerful tone. But today, it was one of those classes where I have to give every single chance that I could, and I did. I gave them a lot of warnings, and they still talked over me. And in the last 23 months of substitute teaching almost, this is very, very rare. It has happened before, but today was a first for me. I had to let someone else take over, and I think this is just something that I had to do. And so at lunchtime I just went over to the office and I told them the truth, and saying that it's just making me very sad. Yet I have the passion, I have the drive. I mean, I love doing what I do, and I was teaching a math lesson. It was cut short for obvious reasons. I had to go take them to lunch, and I was going to finish it after lunch, and I'm like, you know, they weren't even listening to me in the first part of the math lesson as much. There were a couple of students actually who were engaged, and they're very smart in math. I'll say that. But from morning to afternoon, you know, I call this adventures in substitute teaching, and I describe my adventures as a person with autism going through this, you know, the public school system to invest time in the future of our world, and that means more to me than anything. And math, I love math, but you know, sometimes I just have to take a deep breath, and I give them all the pep talks I could. I employed all the SEL that I knew how. I talked to them, I said how much I believe them, and I still, to even this very second, I still believe in them. It's just, I just have to tell myself, you know, it's just going to take time. For some people, they just don't understand as much. They don't understand yet that they have purpose, they have value. I did everything I could. I emphatically told them how much that, you know, they have purpose and value, and to believe in themselves, and I believe that you got it, what's in you. But, you know, I just plant and water seeds. I would, you know, go back to any one of them, and if they want help in their like math or other academics, I can and I will. As I said in the notes to the principal, because I had to write a big lengthy letter to the principal and to the teacher explaining everything, I'm not mad at them whatsoever. And it's quite perplexing that I have to even say this, or that I am saying this. But if I don't, is it like, am I a liar? Am I withholding some things that I don't want the world to know? As if it's like, you know, like social media where you only post, you know, the best about yourself instead of the worst about yourself. And, you know, I'm in the social media world, but I'm in social media to be an encouragement, not to, you know, glorify myself. I want to encourage people, especially people with autism. And you know what? I'm just trying to think of what advice could I give in this portion of the video, that where I have to admit that, you know, I survived 2/3 of today and I just had to leave early. My advice would be this, like if you have autism or any disability, or anywhere where you have like, a stressful day in your career or job, then sometimes you just have to take a step back and, just give yourself a break sometimes, and you just have to realize your limitations, and you could hope and pray in your heart and your mind to for the best for the future of these students or whoever you're working for. But sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and realize you can't do everything. I never believed that I could do every single thing anyway, but I just tried the best I could. I mean, after math we would have had social studies to go through, and I just felt like I couldn't be as effective if I stayed, and so I had to resign to my fate and let the front office know that I'm having a very sad day today. And they understood. I was thinking, like, is this admitting to failure? Am I a hypocrite? And so there's a lot of things in my mind. But as I said in the notes to the teacher and to the principal, I will continue to persevere. This isn't going to make me give up again. I've had equal days as this. For whatever reason, partly I felt invisible, partly I felt misunderstood, partly I felt like I wasn't being taken seriously. So it takes so much courage to admit this. I never wanted to inadvertently portray that I know everything, and I don't believe I even remotely imparted that by accident. I mean, anyone who watches me on social media or anyone in real life or reads my book, I'm sure no one on the planet thinks that I'm trying to say I know everything and I'm the best. I never said that at all, and I'm still in the growth mindset. I mean, I'm just a substitute teacher. Yes, I got teaching credentials. I'm going to get a master's in education in a couple of months. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And even when I get into the career, I'm still going to be learning in the first few years. And I'm excited for it. I look forward to it. And what happened today is never going to stop me. That's why I titled my book Unstoppable, which actually mentions Whittier Elementary by name many times, as well as all the other schools in NMUSD by name. So, of course, if it comes to it, I'm going to, sub at Whittier again. And, I hope to do an assembly over there. I mean, I'd really be emphatic on, treating people nicely and treating people with respect and such, and a lot of them do. In fact, today, a lot of students from other classes were, they're so excited to see me. Even when I was walking to the school, there's students outside just, saying hello to me. And inside the school, there's people coming up to me saying hello and when are you going to sub for us again and such. And one thing right now, I hope I'm also not conveying the idea that all of these students that I subbed for today are horrible. Not one of them is horrible. I believe in every single one of them. I believe that they're smart and intelligent. I believe that they have what is in them. I believe they're good students. And so as I said to the notes to the principal and the teacher, it's like I fell back on some of my education heroes. And those are Ron Clark and Brad Cohen, as well as, my professors at Vanguard and all my past teachers and teachers that I got to know through subbing. And it was a hard decision to choose. I don't think I could make it today. I just don't think I could continue today. And I kept on thinking all day long today, all morning long, I kept on thinking about Ron Clark and Brad Cohen. And yes, in the movies, which are based on their true story of life, it started out rough for them. But, I just felt, something inside of me that I am going to fail them. I'm going to, be a hypocrite or a failure. And, that's what my mind is attacking me with and currently. But, I just have to believe in myself that I'm not. And I made sure that the principal and teacher will tell those students that I'm not mad at them. I believe in them. It's just I couldn't do it. Anyway, that's how today went. I really apologize for ending this last teaching update in a couple of weeks on a low note. Thank you for making it this far. But as I conclude all my teaching updates, autism or not, disability or not, you can do whatever you set your heart and mind to do. I mean, I have autism. And what happened today isn't going to stop me. I will continue to be a substitute teacher for the next couple of years. And I will do whatever I can to get in every single school, public or private, in Orange County within the next few years, to do my volunteer assemblies at my expense from my heart, because I have been told that I've changed many lives. I've been told that my message is one of the first things that students tell their parents afterwards. I was told that. I know that I could try my best to impart the message of, being kind and disability inclusion, not just awareness and acceptance, to every single student. So those are just some of my encouragements that I want to give everyone. But this one thing everyone should take away is I'm not giving up, and I am unstoppable, and I will continue to be a substitute teacher even at Whittier Elementary. Hopefully I will have a lot of very good days in the future, so I don't have to make segments of this video just like this. But if I don't say these things as part of my adventure, then it's like I'm only posting the good and not the bad. And I hope that by me saying all this, it can somehow be an encouragement for people who are in the same boat to keep going themselves. And I hope that how I'm processing these things on camera can perhaps motivate other people. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.